I guess firstly, honesty.
That's my number one.
Yeah.
Always tell the truth.
I think it helps if you're confident in yourself and who you are.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I found you, when I met you, I did. It was all me. Both times. At that point, I was at a stage where I was like, do you know what? If I meet someone, it's great. If I don't, whatever. If on this day, if it's just me and Minnie, then that's cool. And then I met you, like possibly the same day I said that. So yeah, like you said, it's important to.
I think so, and I think what's got us to where we are today, to the fact that we're getting married next year, is that we've always been honest with each other.
Yeah.
We talk, we communicate. Communication is really important. It almost doesn't matter what the disagreement is, as long as you talk about it and you can talk through it. That's really, really important, probably in any relationship. I mean, one of my biggest concerns was schooling for Davina and her not being targeted or being bullied. And so what we wanted to do was build her confidence. So we got her into drama school, and the drama school was for her to meet other people that's not necessarily her school friends, where she would learn to develop. Yep, and where she would learn to develop her own self-confidence. So that if she did get into a place where maybe she might want to be targeted, she'd feel confident enough to be able to deal with that.
Boy, is she confident.
that was really my biggest worry, because my biggest worry was being an unconventional family, and we all know what kids are like. My biggest worry was that for her. You know, parents' evening when you go to school.
She doesn't bat an eyelid.
But
she don't bat an eyelid. She proudly walks in with the two of us, sometimes the two of us and her dad, to parents' evening, and obviously it makes me really happy because you want them to be, this is normal, there's nothing abnormal about this, you know, this is who we are, this is our family. She's so proud.
But that was a big fear. That was a big fear, was getting her to that place where she can be. And actually, if someone says anything, she'll be able to
stand up for herself.
Yeah.
And tell them that they're wrong. And tell them why they're wrong.
Yeah. And actually, what's really good about that is that it means that across the board, she's not judgmental. So whether you're a different race, whether you're short, you're small, your weight, your colour, she's not judgmental at all. She's kind of, I mean, we even had a talk with her about a transgender, and I asked her what she felt when we was watching a programme about transgender. It was a boy transitioning to a girl. And I said to her, how do you feel about that? And she was like, well, I think it's okay, and I think as long as his parents are happy and he's not judged, it's okay. And I was like, you know, but half of our work is done, really. If she can hold that view and not judge anybody, and that's actually was my biggest fear, and wanting to get that through, and it seems to be working so far. The rest of the stuff with such a good support network that we have, she's realised that everybody that she knows is okay with us.
Like everybody loved, like we're loved, and that your family has accepted her as family, and our friends and my family, and all the different people that we have in our lives and that she has in her life, just accept her. No one singles her out for our relationship. And she's confident and comfortable. I don't even think she worries. I think she's aware that we're different. She's aware that we're not a conventional family, but I don't think it scares her. and I don't think it stops her from saying my mum's just as happily and bubbly as she does, really. Which is yeah.
I was saying that my job is for her to realise that this is a special family, special and unique, and actually she's really quite lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably it's probably the one time that women probably get cheated
A bit
less
better.
harshly than men. Is lesbian women are not seen as a threat for some reason.
I think it's by the heterosexual people. I think that's probably because it's a fantasy for men,
and we're women,
which is not seen as a bad thing.
Yeah.
And less threatening possibly because
This
of
women.
fear and the prejudice. But then also in the community.
Yeah, I think almost because they kind of think, I don't know. I suppose they see us as less intimidating. Women as less intimidating in general, anyway.
No.
Right.
Some lesbians are.
No, that's in general.
I don't know.
I think transgenders are treated differently to every.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lack of understanding when it comes to transgenders. There's a lack of understanding about people when they actually change their bodies, and the lack of understanding about people not feeling right to that extent that they need to change it because this is not who they are. I think gay men are seen as a threat to heterosexuals. I don't know whether it's because they're men, because they're stronger, because the sex that they have is penetrative in that sense.
Okay.
Women have always been seen as the weaker sex, and you hear it when men talk, they just need a good shag and they haven't met the right man yet, and that sort of argument, I guess. And I guess on the whole, women are seen as less threatening than men anyway.
Yeah.
So they're less reason to be fearful of them, I guess. But I definitely think we are. I think women get a, you almost see it. If a woman says that I'm a lesbian, they say, oh,
It's kind of dismissed.
they're there. But with a man, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day,
sure?
being a lesbian wasn't a crime. It was being a gay man that would send you to jail.
Here in England.
Well, as the law was, I think.
I
I believe the law was buggery was what you would go to jail for, but as a lesbian you wouldn't go. It wasn't a crime.
Damn.
It wasn't in a court of law. So it's definitely seen differently even from that aspect. Yeah, I guess. So certainly, I think we're treated differently. I think we're not treated as harshly. Unless you talk within the family or within the Caribbean community, lesbians are seen as just as bad as homosexuals. But that's more of that culture.
Yeah.
As
possibly African for black people in general. I think it's all frowned upon. I think actually I was
I suppose one of the main things to me that I'd like to see going forward for lesbians is much more
support or
event support. I don't know about support so much. I think there's support out there. I think events. So you can go out with Davina, go to family functions where there's other same-sex families where kids are around, so they can meet other kids coming from the same type of families. They can see that they aren't the only kids that have the same-sex families. I think that would be one of the main things that I would like to see. more of.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some stuff out there, but I'd like to see more of it. And I think I'd like to see more. No, I'd like to see more stuff for mature lesbians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if you're young, you got the clubs. But when you get to like our age, where you don't necessarily want to go clubbing, but you would like to go out and still mingle, but not in a raving environment.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be I don't know, poetry night or a theme night where it might be where you can go and films, theatre,
readings,
you know, more cultural stuff where you can go and sit down in what feels like a more grown up environment. Professionals, where you can go and meet professional lesbians, so you can network, you can meet lesbians that are doing stuff, you know, particularly black lesbians, because there are white lesbian networks out there, but black lesbians where they're you know, working, they're professional, you can go and you can meet, and you can and you know, even trips, you know, like holidays.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they arrange holidays where you can go away as a group, but with other black lesbians to different countries, but not like just to America, but you know, like to cultural countries. Yeah, that would be really nice. I think that's what I'd like to see more of.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, one of the things you have is Arsenal has a gay Gunners. So a gay Arsenal fans, they're bannered up at Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
And you get tickets through them, and you go as gay people. They walk in Pride, but that's not such a black thing. That's more of a
gay in general.
But it's a thing where you're interested. You know, if you've got something that you're interested in, if you're interested in football, or you're interested in netball, or you're interested in, I don't know, cooking, or baking, or you know, the great black British lesbian gay.
That's a mouthful. That is a mouthful.
You know, that, I can't say it. But that, you know, that's what I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more social things, but not just raving with teenagers. I think, yeah. I don't know if there's anything else I'd like. That for me is what I'd like to see more of. As we move forward as a black lesbian population, I'd like to see more things being born out of that population.
And see them in the public eye as well.
But that involves taking a risk, and us taking a risk and going out there and saying, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I want to do. And putting it out there for others to join you. That's what I'd like to see.